Hey guys, it's Autumn here, and today we are just doing a little Copic illustration. I actually already have done this painting in watercolor, and let's just say I completely forgot to record any of that process, so that's on me. So this is the second time I'm doing this illustration, but this time I decided to do it with my Copic markers as opposed to my watercolors and my Prismacolor color pencils. So this is a drawing that I did while I was at work one day. For those of you who don't know, I work at a summer camp during the summer with kids that are anywhere from 5 to 12. And sometimes I have time to sit down and relax while I'm watching the kids, or they want to color and draw. So I have the opportunity to pick up some paper and a pencil and draw myself while I'm there. This is one such example of that. So I decided to take an illustration that I'd kind of started working on at camp one day of a girl who was originally a mermaid, and then I decided not to have her be a mermaid and kind of come up with a more floaty pose, which is why the title of this is Floating. The watercolor version is titled Floating Away as opposed to Floating, but that's just because of the stylized elements of that piece. So I took the original pencil sketch, I took it into Procreate and I cleaned it up and I fixed some of the proportion errors that I had that tend to come with me doing traditional artwork, and transferred it onto a piece of 9x12 Bristol board, and here we are. I'm coloring it in and I think it actually came out pretty nice. Between the two versions of this piece that I did, my brother prefers this piece and my dad prefers the other version of this piece, which I don't show in this video, but it'll probably be up on my Instagram at some point if you're interested in that. So the basic concept was a girl floating, because it was sort of inspired by Rin drawing with waffles and Bailey J and all the other artist YouTubers that I watch that do kind of these girls floating in space with not really anything around them. They're just kind of floating in the middle of the page. So I attempted that, and this is what I came up with. I like the pose. It's not my most movement-based pose, but I think it conveys what I wanted it to, which is her kind of floating in nothingness. Free-falling, free-floating, whatever it is. I also changed the color palette for her in between the two different illustrations. In the original one, she looks more alive. In this one, I ended up making her look a little bit more cold and dead, which isn't completely intentional. But I was also watching Psych, which is a crime show about psychic detective Sean Spencer and his best friend Burton Guster, or Bruton Gaster, or any of the other aliases that he may have. So I may have accidentally made her look more like a dead body because I was watching an episode of the show where they were investigating the death of an old police chief. I can neither confirm nor deny if that's actually what happened in my head while I was working on this, but I do like the way the shading came out, and she does look mildly dead. So there's that. I also took on some different some different design elements for this one. So instead of just leaving her on a white background, this is obviously later on in the illustration, I end up going and putting gray circles, warm gray circles in different spots around her. Artist tip, I actually used this to cover up where I went outside the lines because I did that quite a bit. And then I also outlined her in white gel pen. Oh, and look, my face is in frame here. I gotta love it when I get so into my drawing and watching a show that I forget to stay out of frame. So that's my big clunky glasses and my curly hair right there. I was also very tired, so I think my eyes were starting to get tired by this point as well. The color palette is supposed to be cool aqua colors and just blues, because it was what I was in the mood for. The only thing that I've been having a hard time with these illustrations is the markers seem to be having a weird splotchy effect, and I don't know if it's because I'm not using wax paper to keep my hands off of the paper, or if it's just going over a certain area too much. So I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions about that, please let me know. I mean, if you have any suggestions at all based on this illustration, please let me know. I actually want to do a video at some point, hopefully when I have more time and I'm not exhausted from summer camp, to kind of compare my art from even just the beginning of this year, but also from the beginning of last year, to see how far I've come in my style and in the way I draw things. Because I was actually looking through a stack of illustrations I have, which are just ones that have to be sorted away into my portfolio from videos I've done here on the channel. And I was amazed by the difference in quality from one from even the end of last year. 6 months can make a huge difference in art, and I am beginning to notice that. I don't think, this is not saying this is my best piece. I think my best piece is still yet to come. But I'm thinking that I'm definitely getting to the point where I'm more comfortable with working with the mediums that I'm working with and drawing in the way that I'm comfortable with and being able to draw more variety in things. So instead of drawing a girl standing straight up on a page like I did last week, she's floating sideways in a horizontal position in a much more fluid style than I have been drawing in recently. And I think that's just because I have been drawing more. I have been putting more effort into it. And I'm just getting more comfortable with being like, all right, well, if this is out of proportion, then it's out of proportion, but it looks cool. But I don't know. Have you guys found that happens when you draw? You get more comfortable with something and you just kind of let the small things go, like anatomy and things, and you just kind of get comfortable with the way you draw? Because I think that's what I'm finding works best for me in this situation of being extraordinarily busy and wanting to draw more. So I think I've rambled enough for this video. Sorry for kind of going off on a more philosophical about art sort of thing right there. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!